Okay, looking at the question with the infected computers, we are told that the number of infected computers decreases at a rate that is proportional to the cube of the number of infected computers. So, number one, we can write down rate of change of the number of infected computers is k n cubed, proportional to n cubed. Okay, we're told that initially we have 4 million infected computers, and after 1 week we're down to 2 million. Okay, so that's our differential equation and attached conditions. Okay, number 2 is to actually solve this thing. So I take my equation up here and I separate, let's see, 1 over n cubed dn is k dt. And then we will integrate both sides as usual. And we get n del minus 2 over minus 2 here. And over here we get kt plus c. So I'll remind you that this integral here can be written as this with a negative exponent. Okay, now we're in a good position to find k and c. Okay, before we start trying to solve for n, it's important to find k and c now because they're quite available. Okay, if I do it later, it'll be harder. So I'm going to use my 2 pieces of information here, plug them in, find k and c. Okay, when time is 0, n is 4. So that's 4 to the minus 2 over negative 2. 0 plus c. So working this out, I get c is negative 1 over 32. So I plugged this piece of information into my differential equation, and voila, I have c. Now I'll take my next piece of information. When t is 1, n is 2. So plugging it in here again, we get 2 to the minus 2 over minus 2 is equal to k plus c, which is that negative 1 over 32. Negative 1 over 8 plus 1 over 32 is going to give me my k, and that gives me 3 over 32 as k. So now I can actually start solving my equation here for n. So plug in what I found here. K was what? Got a mistake here. This should be minus 3. Minus 3 over 32. Sorry about that. So I get minus 3t over 32 minus 1 over 32. What to do? I want n right now. I'm trying to find n in part 2 here. So I'm going to multiply both sides by minus 2. That will clear the fraction, at least over here. So what does that do for me? I get now plus 3t over 16 plus 1 over 16 giving me 1 over n squared is, let's combine these fractions, n squared is 16 over 3t plus 1. So n is equal to plus or minus square root 16 over 3t plus 1, as expected. Now, the plus or minus doesn't make sense. We're talking about a number of computer viruses. So we just merely remark that this minus doesn't make sense. Then we drop that. Okay, last part is to find when there will be 1 million computers infected. So where to go, where to go, where to go? I'll just go back here. Why not? So plug in n equals 1 here, and then solve for t. Squaring both sides gives me 1 is 16 over 3t plus 1. So 3t plus 1 is 16. So 3t is 15, giving me t is 5 weeks.